I believe they're called enforcers, Gordon. I sell women's shoes.
And the Stallion.
Stallion, baby! I am not what you would call a handsome man. I'll kick you in the nuts and you'll smile at me and like it.
All night long.
Welcome to another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. He is the Stallion, I am the Enforcer, and we are back yet again. Week 79 of the All Night Long Wrestling. It's got to be more than that, right? It's over 2 years now. Has it really? It's really over 2 years?
Yeah, it was 2015 when we started, so against our better judgment, we're still here doing this, so...
I feel like we're kind of like Alan Griff in the shoe store. Yeah. We should play games like... I can't really say anything about fat women, right? That's like faux pas now.
Yeah, I think in the current day and age, people frown upon things like that.
Like when Alan Griff threw a Snickers bar on the floor and they raced the shoes down the hill because the women were running and it was shaking the... Can't do that, right? Remember that one? And then Al held the shoe back and he cheated to win. Those were the days.
Yeah. I don't think we can do that, but I mean, I appreciate the thought you put into it.
Yeah. Well, last week our show was rated R, right? I heard that.
I believe so.
I didn't say anything last week.
I don't remember if we said anything bad. I don't remember us saying anything bad.
That's bullshit.
Oh, we're crying out loud.
Listen, if you're gonna put me in the R-rated category, remember the DX promo?
I do remember the DX promo.
Watch your mouth, Yeah, it was a good promo.
Great.
Speaking of good promos, we're here to talk about Battleground. I'd rather slam my nuts in an escalator, but
How would that work exactly? From a physics standpoint, how would you slam your nuts into an escalator?
I would drape.
I think you would drape them in. Yeah, I think that's more what you get them caught in the escalator. Yeah. And then this sounds painful. I don't think you want to do that.
So I was watching Battleground.
I was, but I don't know if it's worth mutilation. I think that's something I would consider.
At least we get listens or views if I drop my nuts in the escalator.
Sadly, you're probably correct, which is unfortunate.
We're out here. I mean, if you and I were pro wrestlers, like if our career was that of a professional wrestler, whose career would we be?
Repo Man. No, I have no idea.
Holy shit! Off the cuff, you come out with Repo Man. That's tremendous. Bill Darso, right?
Barry
Darso. I'm sorry, Barry Darso.
Bill Eadie is the
Bill Eadie is Axe. So wait, hold on. So I don't think we'd be Repo Man, as per he had considerable success in Demolition.
I was thinking of like Repo Man, like stealing stuff and then just getting beaten all the time.
Oh, okay. We haven't stolen anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's our gimmick. Maybe what our gimmick is missing is a gimmick. Maybe each week I'm gonna have a new segment called In the Crosshairs, right? And each week, I'm going to cut a 3 to 4 minute expletive, racially charged promo on other people in the pro wrestling business.
Okay. I don't know what your target audience is for that. I think we'd have to probably talk about that. Like what the demographics that you're looking to reach. I think that would be something that's...
I'm just trying to be controversial.
Worthwhile, because when we get the ratings, we get the breakdown by the age group and gender and all that type of stuff.
Nationality,
all those, that race, ethnicity, all those things. I think we have to look at that and then see like what your target audience and is going to be.
Who I want to alienate the least.
Yeah,
you know who sucks? The Irish.
And you're saying that because you are Irish. So
that's the only thing I'm allowed to say.
To say that.
That's true. I'm allowed to say that.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like what? I don't want to say the show is missing something. I feel like there's something that... No, maybe the show is missing something. What are we missing? Success?
Well, yeah, that goes for a lot of things.
Finances?
Outside of the show, yes.
Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Possibilities?
Prospects? Yeah, no, I have nothing for you.
Okay. What do you think it is about the show that would take us to the next level? This is called workshopping on air. You know what we're doing, so...
Probably less of this, I would say, would help.
I think people enjoy this.
You think so?
Let me tell you something. We're taking you behind the scenes. We're shooting right now. Stallion and I went out about 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, people find us hilarious. Women, considerably out of my league, enjoyed our conversation and talked to us. You know, we're funny. We go back and forth. Incredibly self-deprecating.
True.
We have characteristics that people find endearing, apparently.
Strange things happen when people are drinking a lot, so that could be part of the...
Oh, yeah.
They may find us more entertaining when they're in a inebriated state.
So hold on. Now, piggybacking off that, and this is what workshopping does. Why don't we take our podcast live to places where people are drunk?
That's a fine idea.
Like, we could have games like Kick Me in the Nuts for $5. Or Electrocute My Face for a minute to see if I die. Yeah. Any of those, like, these are things that we could be like a traveling circus. Okay? I have no ties to anything here. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's fine. This is good. So, what if we went on the road? Kind of like Road Wild. Like WCW's famous pay-per-view. Like Monday Night Raw would go to like Daytona and like Sturgis where like the bike weeks are. What if we just found where people get the most shithouse drunk and we took our podcast there?
I mean, are these places going to let us broadcast in their bar? Like at, you know, I assume people would have to be like listening to us, so we have to be like mic'd up and stuff like that for the bar to hear. Or we're just going to sit at a table and drink beer and just talk to each other and record it. Is that
okay? See, counter offer. That's also not a bad idea. And I was just shot. No. Well, now that we've gotten that out of the way, we have some ideas for the future. Speaking of places that people get drunk and find us funny, we're going to GFW next week, right?
Yes.
We are going to the GFW house show in St. James, New York. And when I tell you, the card looks like a stinker, I'm not lying to you.
I feel like that's going to hurt our chances of getting somebody from GFW on the podcast to promote the show.
Well, they've been doing such a good job of getting back to us. I'm firing all cylinders right now. I got my Americano.
I don't think Falaba is going to respond to my tweet.
I honestly, if Falaba was in this room with you and I right now, I wouldn't know who he was.
I think he's the one that dresses like Yokozuna. I'm not sure.
Oh, he's one of he's the Yoko. He was in. They were in the tag team, the international tag team Shmageki.
That's the one.
Right? Yeah. Good for them.
On point.
Yeah, he's putting some 5-star matches. Whatever.
So anyway,
yeah, I'm coming out this week. I'm kind of firing.
Good.
And there goes that opportunity.
Yeah. So we'll be at GFW house show next Friday, August the 4th in St. James.
Yep.
You know.
But listen, you go to a house show, front row, as usual, with an exclusive meet and greet beforehand.
Exclusive meet and greet. So you can meet Falaba and talk to him about maybe
his attire.
Yeah.
Maybe his health, overall outlook on life.
Maybe he needs some supplements. You could sell him some supplements.
You know who doesn't need supplements? Ryback.
Yeah.
Right. How did you know I was going there? Great minds think alike.
He doesn't need any supplements.
So no, listen. They
He's got enough.
To be fair, this is the first house show that GFW has run. Well, sorry, GFW / Impact has run in what, a year?
A few years, I would say. I don't know exactly how long, but it's been a couple years.
I personally, and this is me shooting, and I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings. If this is your first house show in 2 years, I would have delivered a stronger card. However, we don't know what ticket sales are like. But they're having another show the next night, right, in Staten Island?
And they're doing 3 days in a row, yeah. There's one out here, there's one in Staten Island, and then there's one in Connecticut on Sunday.
Are any of those televised or all house shows?
I believe they're all house shows.
Probably would have brought a little more to the table.
Yeah, John Hennigan, bro. Do you need anything more than John Hennigan?
You know who I would go to see? Mike Mondo.
Yeah, I would go see Mike Mondo.
Yeah. Oh,
very
that's
tight, very tight.
Oh, very. We'll get to that. Did we talk about that last week?
I don't remember.
We'll talk about it this week. So, here's the deal. The GFW show, the main event is all of your big names in a 6-man tag. That screams like 1990 house show booking, which is okay, but I mean, you only have 7 matches listed so far, and I would like it if you could sprinkle through the talent through the show a little bit more. So I'm a little underwhelmed with the card on paper. Not to say it's not going to deliver, because I don't think we've gone to a couple of TNA / Impact shows, and we've never had a bad time per se. But on paper, I think it's safe to say this card's a little underwhelming.
Fair.
Okay, voice of reason. That's why we keep the Stallion around. So
I have 0 emotions left right now, so everything's going to be...
Let's just talk about why. Like, rough day, rough week, rough 6-7 years.
34 and a half years, I would say, is the stretch that we're at right now. That's where I'm coming from. So, this is it.
This is
the same enthusiasm we're going to talk about Battleground, like. So, I mean,
First of all, if you're able to hold over this much enthusiasm for Battleground, I will buy you a Snickers bar. Second Snickers bar today.
A left Twix. Can we get one of those? And then if we do a good show, I'll like a right Twix as well.
What marketing genius came up with that idea? So let's start with some Battleground.
Let's start with some Battleground.
Let's say
10 minutes into
10 minutes into the show, into the opening diatribe. Battleground was last weekend, and on paper, the show didn't look very strong. Neither one of us were very excited about it. However, Battleground hooked me in because it kicked off with a New Day versus the Usos match that was that was easily the best match on the card. Really good match, good back and forth, lots of false finishes. I don't think the right team won per se. I would like to see the Usos keep the title, but the New Day won. It was Kofi and Xavier Woods, and let me tell you something. To me, Xavier Woods came off looking like a star in that match.
I thought, it was interesting that they had it be Xavier and Kofi and no Big E. Usually when, there's title shots on the line, they don't often have that pairing of guys. So it was a little interesting to see them do that. But, they did a lot of, like you said, kind of false finishes, kicking out of each other's finishers, things like that you'd expect to see.
Springboard super kick was a nice spot.
Yeah, stuff that you'd expect to see on maybe like a bigger scale show. They were doing in this match, which kind of caught me by surprise, and it was a very entertaining match. I didn't think New Day would win the titles right at this point, but they did. I don't really necessarily have a problem with it. There's not a whole lot of tag teams on SmackDown that are worthy of a shot, so I have no problem with them winning. I'm sure they'll fight the Usos again next month, and then from there, who knows? Because I don't know what else is really out there for SmackDown.
I don't even know who's left.
Yeah, American Alpha split, of course. So we documented that, so they're not there anymore. And then you're looking at teams like Breezango, The Ascension, and I don't even know if the Colognes are there because supposedly they were leaving and they weren't leaving and they haven't been on TV in quite some time.
Oh, I forgot about them. The Caribbean Express. Oh, that's a great name. That's a great team name. The Caribbean Express. Write that down. Let's bookmark that one. That's good. It's better than their other name now. What is it called? The Colognes?
Yeah, it used to be the Shining Stars.
The Shining Stars. That gimmick went over like a... Never mind. Either way, the pay-per-view started off good, like we said. And, it was... I had high hopes for it. And they came crashing down violently with the next match. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin. Talk about two guys whose styles don't match up. They didn't have any kind of chemistry out there, and it was obvious. And they tried to have that strong match, like hard striking and, heavy hits, heavy strikes, submissions, hard hitting moves. And Baron Corbin is not the guy to do that. He came up in the WWE system. There's a pattern. You look at a guy like Baron Corbin, a guy like Rusev, a guy like John Cena. They're all kind of very similar in the way their execution is, and I wouldn't have put Nakamura in there, if in this kind of match, I should say. And they tried to protect both guys, so they went with Baron Corbin kneeing or kicking Nakamura directly in the nuts and losing by DQ, which didn't make sense considering what they did the night after. But so that finish kind of definitely fell a little flat for me.
Yeah, it's this. They don't really. Their styles don't really mesh very well. I think it's certain. But I'll say that probably wasn't the only match on this card where you could say that. But
every match, but yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think they're unfortunately the booking style of WWE, where when they have somebody holding that Money in the Bank briefcase, is there's a pattern there. They seem to repeat it over and over again, which is whoever wins the briefcase will subsequently not win many matches until it's their time to cash in. And I guess they feel that by doing that, it becomes more of a surprise when somebody cashes in, as if like there's some uncertainty if they'll win because they've been losing a lot, and then potentially it sets up feuds for that person should they win the championship and have all these guys that they lost to as potential challengers. I personally think that's the opposite way that you should be doing it. I think somebody who wins a briefcase should get a lot of momentum and be booked as a credible challenger. That way when they win the title, they can be looked at as a credible champion as opposed to somebody that's been losing for months on end. Either way, they had a DQ finish here with Corbin. Not to jump ahead too far, but they did a rematch on SmackDown on Tuesday, and Nakamura beat him cleanly. So not a lot of good stuff happening for Baron Corbin at the moment. Nakamura, again, I don't want to jump all over the place, but he's going to get an opportunity to be the number one contender for the WWE title when he faces John Cena on SmackDown next week. But so it looks like they're moving away from this feud, at least for the moment, unless there's some shenanigans in that match on next Tuesday.
Yeah, Nakamura versus John Cena is a huge match. I'm surprised they would do that on SmackDown, which is cool. I mean, it's going to get people tuning to SmackDown because I think numbers have been very low the last couple of weeks. So this is a good way to try to bring people in. But I don't think this match did anything for anybody. Speaking of this one was a tough one. Becky, Charlotte, Lana, Tamina, and Natalya in a fatal 5-way. It's not a fatal, then. That bothers me. It's not a fatal 5-way elimination match. Because a fatal would mean one pin and you're done. But what do I know? So a 5-way elimination match for the number one contendership. Natalya gets the win over Charlotte. What do you make of that? What? Just tell me what you think first, because I still don't know.
As far as why she won?
As far as why she won the finish and why Lana is wrestling.
I don't know why Lana is wrestling. I assume it's because she wants to.
She's terrible.
Well, so is Tamina, so we could probably throw that in there.
At least Tamina could throw a super kick, even though she falls afterwards.
I'm pretty sure she concussed somebody with that pretty badly at one point, or possibly busted somebody's mouth really bad. So
who was? I remember that.
I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, but
while you talk, I'm gonna look it up.
It definitely happened. As far as Natalya winning, I guess I don't know. I have to assume that the long term, or I don't know how long term it is, but the future of the women's championship on SmackDown is going to be with Carmella. So they probably. I don't know if Carmella's going to take it off of Naomi. My guess is that she will, and that's probably why they're keeping Charlotte and Becky away from title matches and winning the title at this stage. So I'm going to guess that they're going to continue with heel challengers for Naomi until they have Carmella cash in. So there you go. So that leaves Natalya, because Lana and Tamina are not good and would not fare well. I mean, Lana obviously had several matches against Naomi already. They probably could do Tamina if they wanted, but I don't think that's really a good idea. They have Natty on the roster, who's a very solid in-ring wrestler, so they decided to have her win here and delay any sort of babyface challenge from Becky or Charlotte until the title probably shifts onto Carmella. That's my guess.
Yeah, she's a clean worker too. She's not very flashy. She doesn't do like the Charlotte moonsault and stuff like that, but she's very crisp. On the mic, not so much, but. It should be an interesting, it should be a good match. It should be a clean match, I hope. I will say the finish was really tough in this one. That schoolboy into the buckle, it just felt incredibly flat to me, because I don't want anybody taking any bumps that are going to hurt them. But this one, was a very slow-looking bump, and I appreciate what they tried to do with, Natalya being the veteran and stuff, but it just, for me, the finish was kind of out of nowhere. Yay? Nay? No? Maybe? I don't know. Well, it could have just been me, because I watched it the next morning, but...
No, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there just wasn't... I mean, there was nothing...
No heat for the match, really?
Yeah, nothing really special about it. I mean, Becky had some momentum at one point, had back-to-back eliminations within about, 20 seconds of each other.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And
back-to-back-to-back.
Well, I think then she knocked out Tamina and Lana back-to-back very quickly, and then quickly after that, Natalya rolled her up. So, 3 of the 4 eliminations occurred within about 30 seconds of each other, which, again, I'm not a huge fan of that in these types of matches, but it could seem like they're building to, a long match, and then all of a sudden, rapid-fire eliminations, and then 2 more minutes later, the match is over. So, but, it is what it is. They put almost the whole division into the match, with the exception of Naomi and Carmella. So, well, that's fine. Natty will win. Natty wins, and then she'll face Naomi at SummerSlam, and then who knows when Carmella will cash in, if it'd be at that point or later on.
That's a good call. Maybe it's SummerSlam. That would be interesting to see. And plus, in her hometown, quote unquote, even though she's from Boston, I think she's billed from New York. So
who? Oh, Carmella.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, she says that she's the princess of Staten Island, but I don't know. I've never actually checked to see.
Yeah, she's from Boston. She was like a Patriot cheerleader.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, yeah. So was Ellsworth. Oh, he could probably make a return too. If I think about it, because his 30-day suspension is probably up right around SummerSlam. So that's going to lead us to Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. And am I right? Joe's checking. Well, let's see what we got here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you checking on the Carmella thing?
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I definitely remember reading that at some point.
Yeah, she's from Worcester.
Worcester, Mass. What an ass. How you doing? Kevin Owens and AJ Styles, man, these two, you think you couldn't put two better guys in the ring together to put on a phenomenal match, and these two did not click at all. Just like the month before, we were kind of talking about it. It was very disappointing. Owens and AJ Styles had a great match at Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore, probably maybe early 2015, late 2014. And these two, they had a lot more creative freedom, of course, but they had a fantastic match, and that's why I had such high hopes for these two now. But, whether it be their styles have just changed so drastically, or the WWE is kind of keeping them from realizing their full potential in the ring, this was another match that came off flat. Especially, the whole match was very plotting. Kevin Owens' penchant for headlocks is really draining on me. I get it, you headlock city, and you want to be the heel and get heat by doing a boring move in a match. You're not really getting heat. You're taking me out of the match, because I think it was at 3 different spots when you had the chin lock on. And the actual match itself was very slow, very methodical, and a finish. Apparently, there was a botch in the finish. I was reading there was I don't know. It was very. AJ got rolled up, and he didn't even. His body went limp, and he took the 3 count, which is not like him. So I don't know if they had to call an audible on that match, or if there was a problem with it, which is why they went for the quick turn 2 days later. But to me, another match that was just not good at all.
Yeah, rumor has it that they changed the finish of the match during the match. I don't know how true that is.
Really?
But I don't know why they would do that. Makes no sense.
Was the same person supposed to win the whole time?
Well, I think AJ was supposed to win because the betting odds were like heavily favored to him. That's what was listed.
Really?
So he was, I guess, originally booked to win, and then either the story is that Vince or somebody changed the finish as the match was going on, or there may have been a botch of some sort in the match, and it wasn't supposed to end with Styles taking the loss. So I don't know, but either way, that's how it went down, and then Styles ended up winning it back 2 days later again. So I don't know why they decided to do that, but they did. And so they switched the title like a gazillion times now, and I don't really know.
I think it was like 4 times in 2 weeks, right? 3 times in 2 weeks?
It's changed, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since WrestleMania.
That's rough.
I believe. Because Owens won it at WrestleMania off of Jericho.
Right.
Jericho won it back from him at Payback. Owens won it back from him 2 days later on SmackDown. Then Styles won it at the Garden. And then Owens won it at Battleground. And then Styles won it on Tuesday. That might be 6. I don't remember. I lost count.
Too many.
But there's a lot.
Too many.
Since April.
AJ Styles needs to hold on to this title for at least a year. Like, because I know you're like me, kind of old school. I hate the ping pong of the title.
Yeah.
And but as far as the match goes, what did you think of the actual match, the in ring?
I mean, it was disappointing. I think that's what a lot of people, when you see these two guys on paper, you assume it's going to be a really, really good match, and there'll be a lot of great stuff happening at the end. And then that's not how it went. And the finish was a little messy or confusing for people. So it kind of just put an even bad taste in everybody's mouth when it was over. So it wasn't as good as I think expected. They had a match at Backlash a couple months ago that I think kind of was in the same category. I don't know how their match at the Garden was. It'd be interesting to see if I think that's going to get released on a DVD at some point. I don't know if I'll ever see it, but I'll be interested to see how that match came off. But the 2 pay-per-view matches they've had have not been all that good. I know they fought on Raw last year before Styles got drafted to SmackDown. Actually, right before Styles turned heel, I believe. he lost to Owens on Raw. I don't know. I remember how good that was or not, but it seemed like it was better than this.
It couldn't. I mean, and the thing is, like, these two guys got 18 minutes, so it wasn't even like a time issue. And if they were going to ramp it up towards the finish, I mean, how long was the match supposed to be? So, speaking of giving time, John Cena, Rusev in a flag match was the next match. This was 21 minutes long. That is a long time for a flag match. To me, very, very boring, very plotting. I think I missed the pre-match instructions end because I did not know that you had to take it off the pole and then walk it all the way upstairs. In flag matches traditionally, has that been the rule?
Not that I can recall.
Okay. So, so I thought once Rusev got it, it was over. It was because I was fast-forwarding a lot. They had some good spots, but it was just so slow and so boring for my liking, and I don't really feel like these two have worked very well together. They probably wrestled together, 15 times on TV, stemming from their Mania match 3 years ago.
I think it was the one. It was 31 in California.
So 2 years ago. Oh yeah, BK was there for that.
Mm-hmm.
And just another match to me that just sucked up a lot of time, and you didn't get anything back from it.
Again, I mean, I think it was disappointing. I think these guys are both capable of better. The flag match stipulation does kind of take away from certain aspects of what they could do. It was more of a gimmicky thing. I think as soon as they made the match, my assumption was that Cena would win and it would set him up for a potential title shot at SummerSlam, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. They had Cena win. He beat Rusev beat him in the flag match. He put him through a table before, just as it ended, and now Cena's in line for a title shot at SummerSlam, and nobody knows what the heck Rusev's doing. So that's pretty much what I expected. They have no plan for Rusev. The plan that they had was changed and derailed because of the whole Jinder Mahal thing. So now Rusev, who's better than Mahal and more deserving to be in a main event level slot, has no feud, and Jinder continues on in the championship picture. So
questions abound on Tuesday night. Was this match announced before the show? Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis?
Yes,
it was announced. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the I don't know. I don't remember. We probably even talked about this match. We did last week, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I have no recollections whatsoever. Oh, the vase in the back. Now I remember. Yeah, so Zayn got the win over Mike Bennett pretty cleanly, which is strange considering Sami Zayn really never wins. And it was so early in, Mike Bennett's tenure. I don't know. I don't know where you go with this. I don't know if there is any more continuation to the Mike Kanellis, Sami Zayn feud. But I'll tell you, it's not looking good for Mr. Kanellis here in this situation. He doesn't have a lot of heat. Maria is kind of the star of the show. That's what they're doing, and I think he's just along for the ride. And I don't expect in the near future, at least, I don't think you're going to see, many wins in his column.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem is with Bennett. I don't know why you would sign a guy. Obviously, I know his wife is the main part of the act in their opinion. I don't know why you would sign a guy like Bennett, put him right onto the main roster on SmackDown, right? So they didn't send him to NXT. They didn't have him build up any momentum or anything there. And then you put him onto SmackDown figuring, okay, you got a new guy debuting. You put him with Maria. You want them to be a duel, an act. And then he basically cheats to win his first match in 3 minutes, and then loses this match on the pay-per-view, and then takes the pin in a tag match on Tuesday in the same way. So I don't know why he's even there. You could have just taken literally any two other people in the mid card and taken one guy in the mid card and paired him up with a woman who's not doing anything right now, and then just made the same exact act. It doesn't make any sense.
Especially because, I wonder if it was just to sign him away from Impact. I wonder if that was the deal. And they're just signing people just to have him under the umbrella. Because I was just reading now that they're looking at doing another superstar shakeup where they're going to be sending people down to NXT. where they do something main roster, Raw and Smackdown to NXT to really shake things up. But, you know, Michael Bennett and Maria, they probably would have gotten over just fine in NXT because the crowd's going to be more familiar with them. And newsflash to WWE, when was Maria in the 2008, 2007?
Yeah, it was like mid to late 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, like, nobody's going to, no disrespect to her, but no WWE fans, unless you're the quote-unquote hardcore fans, are going to remember her.
Sure.
You know, I mean, she's done, but the problem is she's done great stuff in Ring of Honor and great stuff in New Japan. She played a very integral part in Mike Bennett in the Kingdom. She did a lot of cool stuff with Anderson and Gallows in New Japan. I mean, that was cool, and you know, but you have to reintroduce her then because you're treating her like she's the queen, but you're not doing any video packages really on them. You're not explaining who she is or where she came from, and I think they're just dropping the ball with these two from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know what the, you know, again, I don't know what purpose it's serving. I mean, I feel bad for Bennett. I just wish they would have had something better for him planned, and like at least giving him some wins early to establish him as a guy who's a kind of a credible wrestler. At least if you want to slot him in the mid card, which is fine. I'm not saying that he should be in the main event, but at least put him in the mid card. See how he gets over with his promos and the act, and if he gets some wins, and then maybe if he gets some you know, good crowd reactions or people behind him or against him, at least you can utilize him in a bigger role. And if he doesn't get over, then you can do whatever you want with him, right? Make him a jobber or, you know, change the act.
Hawkins treatment.
Yeah, that's fine. But to do this and just have him going 50-50 with like Sami Zayn already, you know, doesn't really do anybody any favors. So it's kind of a waste. Especially
with the poor booking of Sami Zayn as it is, like a win over Mike Bennett, it's not going to help Sami Zayn as much as it's going to hurt Michael Bennett. Forget that Michael Kanellis. Sorry, driving me crazy. Talk about strange booking. Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton in the Punjabi prison match, or as I call it, the colored PVC pipe match. This match went a half hour, Joe. Tell me.
Well, 7 minutes of that was Great Khali walking to the ring.
The Great Khali kind of looks like he's holding in a poop. I feel like that's, you know, it's...
Looks very uncomfortable. I'll say that.
Then I can't believe the Great Khali is back.
Believe it, man. Believe
I don't,
that.
Who says that? I'd rather watch a Roman Reigns wet T-shirt video.
I can't believe we're 33 minutes into the show and that's the first Roman Reigns reference we've had. I feel like we're really slacking.
We've been complaining a lot this show. It's not going to get much better, so buckle your seatbelts. Jinder, this match was terrible.
Please keep listening. Okay, I'm sorry.
Please keep listening. This match was god-awful for a couple of reasons. A, the Punjabi prison is an atrocious idea. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not an atrocious idea. Have they always done the 60-second thing, or is that new? I've never actually watched a Punjabi prison match.
Yes, this is only the third one ever. And sadly, probably the best one. But I don't. The other two, when they happened, I didn't watch them when they were.
Those are the dark periods when neither one of us were really watching.
Yeah, well, it's hard
JBL era.
To buy pay-per-views when it's like Undertaker, Big Show, and then the other one was Great Khali versus Batista. I think so. I think those are the other two Punjabi prison matches. I don't know if they had the 60-second thing. Here's what I'll say, and I commented on this while I was watching the show. I was texting with BK.
Why weren't you texting me?
You weren't. Were you watching it?
You would know, actually, would you? Selfish wrestling.
Can I finish my point now? Is that possible?
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you just text Brian your point?
I will.
Tight.
I don't want too much dead air on the show.
We should change the name of the show to Dead Air.
Dead Air. There's of all the crazy gimmicks and stuff, right? I mean, people get on Vince Russo, right, for making all sorts of crazy gimmick matches and things. This is definitely one of the like most odd and intricate designed gimmick matches that I've seen, and they're certainly not from the brain of Vince Russo. They have the two bamboo cages, all right, one around the ring,
PVC piping,
one around the ring, and then one on the outside of the ring. You call for one of 4 doors to be open. The referee opens the door. If you don't go out through that door in 60 seconds, they close it and lock it. And then after all 4 of those have been gone through, then you can only climb out over the top. So finally they get to the point where they have the Singh brothers come out from under the ring and drag Jinder Mahal out of the door, the 4th door, and the 4th door locks and gets closed. And literally within like a minute, Randy Orton just climbs over the first set of bamboo and then almost climbs out the second one just by leaping from the first set of the first cage to the second cage and almost just walks right out. So I don't know what benefit those doors or that phase of the match actually served.
So what you're saying is for time you could just, it actually takes more time to walk out the door and then walk up the cage than it does to walk over the cage and jump across.
Or like if you're, let's say there's 4 doors, right? Okay. And let's say that one guy, let's say it was Jinder, just has to open the first door and wants to get out that outside of that cage through that door. And then he just, if you were Orton, I would just let him walk out and go out another door at the same time. Because once he's out, he's not coming back in. Well,
the same can be said for when guys try to climb over a cage and escape, and you could just gladly walk out the door. So that's a rough one. That is rough.
So,
but then once those doors are closed, buddy, they're locked.
Right. Then they're trying. Now they're on the outside of the ring, but inside the outer cage, and just kind of fighting out there. There was weaponry involved and whatever. It got to a point where it just went on for a while, and Orton was about to climb over the top, and Great Khali made his return, came down to the ring, climbed up the cage a little bit, and was choking Orton through the bamboo cage. Basically almost killed Orton, I'm pretty sure, because he shook the cage, and Orton tried to fall over, back inside, and almost took a header.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of held on to him, choking, while Jinder went out the cage, on his own and won. So
yeah, nothing good. No. Nothing good.
I feel like if I was Orton and I saw Khali coming down, I probably would have just climbed down and went to the opposite end. That way, because by the time Khali got there, I would have been able to climb up and out.
You wouldn't have waited on top of the cage?
No, that would not have been my choice.
It took Khali 25 minutes to get to the cage. You're right. The whole match was him walking to the cage. All in all, this was a terrible pay-per-view. Literally, if it wasn't for the New Day versus the Usos, this might have been December to Dismember 06.
It was interesting. I read...
Because to me, that still goes down as the worst pay-per-view of all time.
I don't remember what website it was, but I don't know if it's... Whatever it was, there's some site where people ranked their approvals of all these shows, pay-per-views. Kind of like a Rotten Tomatoes type deal.
Okay.
And it's the third lowest ranked of all time, a WWE show of all
really?
time. However, I don't know how that's how arbitrary that is in terms of people voting on it.
Was it Cage Match? That's what I'm saying. No.
Maybe I don't know. Okay. I don't remember the site, but it was there's the three lowest ones. This is the third lowest. December to Dismember was the second lowest. You want to take a guess on the lowest one?
You want to give me a year roughly?
What do you mean by roughly?
Give me a decade.
90s.
90s. Is it WWF?
Yeah, this is strictly.
It's only WWF.
Yeah,
okay.
Strictly WWF/E.
90s. Was it the In Your House where the power went out?
Beware of Dog. No.
Okay. WrestleMania with LT main eventing.
11. No.
Oh, this is a fun game. This could be. Was it Fully Loaded 98? I just made that up. I don't even know it's pay-per-view.
No. Triple H Rock, I believe. No, 98. Yeah, 98. Yeah, Triple H Rock.
No, what was it?
It was King of the Ring 95. Featuring Mabel.
Yep.
Winning the King of the Ring tournament.
I'm going to go back and watch... Okay, this will be my homework. I'm going to go back and watch King of the Ring 95 on the network and see if I enjoy it more than this.
Okay. I just watched it recently a few weeks ago, actually.
Was it bad?
It's not good. Unless you like Mabel or Savio Vega wrestling 4 times.
Jesus Christmas. Really?
It's on there.
Good God almighty.
Pretty sure that's the Bret Hart, Jerry Lawler, Kiss My Foot match.
Oh, there it is.
Pretty sure that's on there.
And we got BK texting us. You know what? I'm going to read BK's text on air because he group texted us.
Ratings.
He says, watching SummerSlam 90 opening match, Rockers versus Power and Glory, and Power and Glory don't get an entrance. How would the old interwebs handle that today? Power and Glory were amazing. We love Power and Glory. They had the most badass finisher at the time, and they had awesome training videos. Sorry, it wasn't into it. They would have been fine. They got the win in that shit, which is kind of funny. So,
spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't
damn
seen
it.
SummerSlam 90. Come on.
30 years ago.
Booking.
What do you rate?
Q.
Q for questionable as to why I watched the show? What do you give it?
D.
Why can't you never go E?
Because it's not actually on the grading scale.
You know what? E minus. It's on the E minus for enforcer. I'm like Dave Meltzer making up my own grades.
Oh.
Here we go. E minus.
That worked well.
Really close to an F. Really close to an F. And if you would have told me a show that had Sami Zayn, Mike Bennett, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, Nakamura, The New Day, and the Usos would have got an E minus, I would have said, you know what? You're probably right in this day and age. So that's unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, ProWrestling.com is your home to find the All Night Long Wrestling podcast. Maybe. You can also find us on Damage 365 Radio. You can find us on Facebook, on your Twitter, at All Night Long WP. You can find us on Facebook.com/AllNightLongWP, Twitter and Instagram at All Night Long WP. You can find us on YouTube through the ProWrestling.com channel. Because Joe, the stallion over here, takes his time, cuts the show, uploads it, and then people post it all around the internet. Easy to find.
Did we talk about iHeartRadio already? You said that?
That was the payoff. That was the Shockmaster debut, and you just spoiled it for me.
The Shockmaster debut?
Yeah, you're the beam that he trips over.
I'm the beam.
You're the Fred Ottman beam of doom. I was about to get to the iHeartRadio, because let me tell you something. No jabroni can be on iHeartRadio. You have to be chosen, okay? And through Damage 365 Radio Network, you could find the All Night Long Wrestling podcast on the iHeartRadio Network.
Hey everybody, this is Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you are listening to Damage 365 Radio. And remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
I just want to be able to laugh like that.
I'd like to be the $1 Million Man.
I'd like to be the $1,000 man. Alley and oop. There we go. We got a couple minutes left to talk about the. There was a lot going on Raw this week, and I felt like Raw was. I keep getting the shows confused this week. Raw was the good show, right? There was a decent show. One of them was actually no. Both shows this week were pretty decent. They definitely rebounded from. They rebounded from Battleground Monday night. Is it me, or is there still something not making sense with the Jason Jordan angle?
I'll tell you what it is.
Oh, hold on. Let me sit back in my seat, open up my ears, and go ahead.
It sucks. That's what it is. It sucks. The whole thing sucks. It's dead on arrival from the angle. People don't care. They're silent. Jason Jordan is not a good promo. It's not good. Do you know what the plan is, by the way? Did you read the plan for what the plan is?
No.
Did you see about the plan?
I don't read spoilers, dude.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead. Just tell me. What's the plan? Hold on. If anybody's listening and they don't want to know what the plan is, we're letting you know there's probably going to be a spoiler alert coming in the next 15 seconds. Okay, it's going to be a lot quicker than 15 seconds. 5 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Okay, what's the plan? Go.
17. It's... Well, so the rumor I read was they were originally going to do something with Ambrose and Rollins and The Miz, right? They're kind of setting that all up. Potentially, I guess, centered around the IC title. I don't know if it would have been a triple threat or not.
Okay.
Now the rumor is they're going to shift them away from The Miz, and they're going to have them challenge for the tag titles, Ambrose and Rollins versus Cesaro and Sheamus, and they're going to have Jason Jordan face The Miz at SummerSlam for the IC title. That's the latest rumor I read. Apparently there might be a Miz TV happening with Jason Jordan soon, so that may be the kickoff to that angle.
That might be the kickoff to the dark ages of me not watching WWE TV again for like a good couple of years, back when we both stopped when JBL was champion. I have no interest in a Jason Jordan, anything promo-wise. Unless the end game is for him to turn on Angle, or Angle to turn on him, and them to beat the living hell out of each other. And then you have Angle versus Jason Jordan. I'm on board with that. But everything else, he's corny. The fans are doo-dooing on him already. And he's about to be Roman Reigns. And
what's wrong with Roman Reigns?
He sucks, Joe. The guy sucks. No, I'm just kidding. Roman doesn't suck. The fans suck for turning on him. You broke up American Alpha because you never gave American Alpha a shot on the main roster. They were over on NXT, and you never gave them a shot to do their thing on SmackDown. And then out of nowhere, Jason Jordan gets traded for a couple of bats, like a famous MLB trade. And now we're supposed to care about him? And they were like, oh, it's his first match on Raw. Who cares? He's wrestled 1,000 matches on WWE TV. I don't care that he beat, who did he wrestle? Kurt Hawkins? That was just a guess. Was it Kurt Hawkins?
Yep.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, pay me himself. So I don't care that Jason Jordan's wrestling in singles matches. He's got that, who used to do that finisher? Was it Rhino? He's got in the back suplex, and he kind of holds him there, and he turns and he switches to a neck breaker. I think it was Bubba Ray or Devon. No, it was Devon. Was it Devon that used to do that? I don't know. I'll look it up. But he's got it's kind of a take on the American Alpha finisher, and he's got all of his dad's moves, and it's just not clicking, Joe. It's not clicking at all. It stinks. What else stinks? Actually, no. I like the opening segment. Love the Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and pull apart with who else is in the segment? Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe,
Roman Reigns.
There he is. There he is. The big dog.
Come on.
Yeah, it was a lot of very physical. Very physical opening segment. Got some good heat for that stuff. And speaking of Braun Strowman, hear about the little kerfluffle he got into with Karen Jarrett? Huh?
Sounds made up.
I don't think Dave Meltzer would make that up.
I don't see Braun Strowman on his knees begging Karen Angle to forgive him or whatever. Karen Jarrett, excuse me.
If Braun Strowman had about 40 Coors Lights in his system, I think anything's possible. He said he was out of the bar. Apparently, Karen Jarrett, she approached Braun Strowman for an autograph for his son, and Braun Strowman cursed at her and was just mean to her overall. And then she pulled the "Do you know who I am" card and told Braun that she was Angle's wife. And then he got on his knees in the middle of the bar and profusely apologized. Now, let me ask you something, Joe. That story's out, right? It's on every website now. Meltzer reported it in the Wrestling Observer. If you're Braun Strowman, what do you do? Let's say it's not true.
What do I do if I'm Braun?
Yeah, do you just leave it?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything you can do. I don't think there's anything you can do right now.
Do you tweet him? Like, would you say anything to him?
To Kurt?
To Meltzer. If the story's untrue.
Oh, no. I don't think I would even acknowledge it. I really wouldn't. I mean, I think if you do that, you're just adding fuel to the fire, right? And then all of a sudden the story's going to come out that he tweeted Meltzer, and then now Meltzer's responding to him, or who knows what. It's just going to make it worse. I would just completely ignore it if I was Braun.
Kind of like
if anybody ever asked him, I'd just be like, no, didn't happen.
Gotcha. And then, if it did happen, Karen can come back and be like, oh, it happened. So it's the internet is a fickle, fickle creature, man. But anyway, regardless, I've lost all respect for Braun Strowman now because he broke kayfabe and he got on his knees in the middle of a bar. The monster among men. I wish we could air what BK said. I'm not going to go into it, but it was very, very comical. Brian's got a vivid imagination. So back to SmackDown.
I guess the main upshot of Raw, outside of anything else, was they made the 4-way match for SummerSlam with Brock defending against Roman, Joe, and Braun. And next week on Raw, they're doing a triple threat between Roman, Braun, and Joe. So that will be interesting. And then as far as SmackDown goes, I thought SmackDown was a pretty solid show. Jericho made a surprise return in the opening segment. And they did a triple threat for the U.S. title in the main event, which was Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho, because Styles and Jericho were both owed rematches. So they had Styles and winning the title back from Jericho in the main event, and then they made a match for next week with Owens against Styles, and Owens invoking his rematch clause. Nakamura pinned Corbin, as we said earlier, and then as part of that, John Cena came out and interrupted a promo by Jinder Mahal, trying to stake his claim at being the number one contender, and I believe it was Daniel Bryan that made it a number one contenders match on SmackDown next week as well. John Cena versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So there's those two matches. Cena, Nakamura, and Owen Styles for the U.S. title are on SmackDown next week.
Yeah, and I thought the main event was light years better than the AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens match from the pay-per-view. I thought, and Jericho's got to be 50, right?
He's like 46 or 47.
That guy, having him in the match added so much, and it maybe kind of brought the chemistry together, because he's been doing it so long he could lay out a match in his sleep. And I'm not saying AJ and Owens can't, but maybe they just need that other dynamic, because I thought that match was off the chains. Right?
Was it lit?
Oh God! Somebody said to me at work the other day, like a little punk ass 15-year-old kid.
I honestly don't know what that means. So
I think it means it was good.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it was good. So no, SmackDown definitely rebounded strongly from their poop in the pants that was Battleground, and like I said before, giving away a match like Nakamura versus Cena on free TV a week ahead of time is smart, because now you have something to look forward to on SmackDown. It's not like you just read whatever they post online the night before. It's like, oh, tomorrow night on SmackDown, but it's like, no, now you have a whole week to think about why you should watch SmackDown, so you don't forget about it. So hopefully they have a really good match together. I can't wait to see the King of Strong Style against the King of Soft Style. Am I right? I made that up the other day when I was watching it. It's pretty cool.
It's very good.
Thanks.
It's very
I wish. Seems like that could be a T-shirt. Maybe we could work on that. I don't want to walk around wearing a King of Soft Style T-shirt, though. I think that might give the wrong message.
No, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Like flaccid, right? That's wrong.
I was thinking about like soft. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I don't want to do that. It's just
like fat.
Would it be soft style, like SAWFT,
nope.
or like
hard F?
Soft.
No, not. King of, are you from Boston? King of not soft, like King of Soft.
Soft.
King of.
That's all I got.
Yeah, that's now that I'm gonna try to get that trending, the hashtag King of Soft Style. That could be, might give WWE some internet love this week. Speaking of internet love, you know who doesn't get any?
Us?
Yeah. God, we suck. Listen, I'm not a begging man. I'd get on my knees and beg like Braun Strowman did. Like our show. You don't buy it? You don't buy that story?
No.
How do you think Meltzer could get away with reporting that story if it wasn't true?
He probably has a source or something. I mean, who knows?
What if Braun was hammered? I think it's possible.
I'm sure it's possible that Braun was hammered. I don't doubt that maybe that they had an exchange, but I don't know. It all seems very far-fetched to me.
That's what he said.
Karen Jarrett brought one of her kids. First of all these people are out in a bar, right? And she has one of her kids with her.
No, the kid wasn't there. The kid wasn't there, no.
So what did she do? Just ask for an autograph?
Yeah, for an autograph for her son.
Okay.
And he scoffed at her.
Okay, that I could see.
Right.
I can't see her then flipping out at the bar saying that, oh, my son's father is Kurt Angle. How does Braun even know that that's Karen Jarrett and that she's been married to Karen? Like, how does he even know? And then how does he believe that that's actually her? If he didn't know it was her to begin with, why would he believe her when she just said it?
Because everybody from GFW and WWE was there.
But then he wouldn't. So wouldn't he know? Like, that's who it was.
I've been really drunk at bars before, and weird shit's happened. Joe.
I can't imagine. Well, listen. I'm not buying the full. I'm buying the
story. I'm buying in because Meltzer never lies.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you this: if there are two women that I would never want mad at me, one would be Karen Jarrett, the other would be Rebby Sky. Who do you think would win in a fight?
Lady Tapa.
Not anymore. The girl's down to like 105 pounds. Lady Tapa. She got very skinny. She got in great shape, and she's in the Mae Young Classic. Isn't it kind of funny how the Mae Young Classic, like all the excitement for it, has died out, hasn't even aired yet?
Yes, I'm sure it'll pick back up once they start, promoting it on TV and on the network and all of that business. But
yeah, and I heard the WWE say that they're not keeping a lot of the women from the Mae Young Classic.
I did hear that. That's good.
Let's get more of a dose of Lana in the ring. Let's not get Mia Yim.
Big fan of Lana.
Let's not get Candice LeRae. Who else was in that? Lady Tapa, who could work.
Not your girl, Shayna Baszler.
Queen of Spades. Queen of my ass. Shayna Baszler. The 4 Horsewomen. Shut up. You and... Actually, Marina Shafir, and I respect her because you're Mrs. Roderick Strong. But Jessamine Duke, go in a fight. Ronda, wake up. I'm
glad I brought this up.
No. You're adding a little vinegar to the end of the show. Apparently, the 4 Horsewomen got into with the other 4 Horsewomen at the Mae Young Classic, and they had like a little face-off and shit like that. Get back to me when you do something in professional wrestling. And get back to me when anybody besides Ronda does anything in MMA. Shayna Baszler, you're a trailblazer. You've been fighting MMA for, 15 years, one of the first women. That's cool. But act like a champion. Act like you've been there before. Don't go calling out women that Ronda beats online and say, yeah, that's what you get, bitch. Shut up. Go wear your hat sideways and get beat by somebody in the Mae Young Classic. I'm over this. I'm done. I'm done with the Mae Young Classic. I'm done with the 4 Horsewomen. You know what I'm not done with? Belonging to the city.
Oh, wait, we're not done with the show yet? Should I just keep going?
That was perfect. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, you have more to say? Or are we done? You didn't even plug you plugged the Facebook. Did you plug the Facebook? Did you plug the Twitter? Did you do all that stuff?
I plugged all that.
You did all that stuff already?
Yeah.
Where the hell was I?
Tweeting.
Oh, okay. So we're done? Alright. Is that...
Wait, hold on. Wait. Did I... Damage? I hit damage, right?
Damage 365.
Damage 365 Radio. Facebook.com/allnightlongwp. Yep, we're good. Oh, son of a... Did you get iHeartRadio?
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier.
Okay, iHeartRadio, search All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. Alright, cool.
Are you sure?
No, sorry, the Twitter again. At All Night Long WP on Twitter.
What about Instagram?
No, I got that already.
And the Facebook?
Yep, I got that too.
I
got that. Got that. Yep. You know what? No, I didn't. Damn it. Twitter. I got the Twitter, the Instagram. At All Night Long WP.
Yeah, the Instagram, man.
At All Night Long WP on Instagram. At All Night Long WP on Twitter. We should be good. The only thing I forgot is Pro Wrestling's channel on YouTube.com. You can find us there. ProWrestling.com channel, YouTube.com. Got that. Good. Yeah. Yep, we're good. Yep. Did I talk about ProWrestling.com? Did we talk about ProWrestling.com?
Yeah. That's
you can find us on ProWrestling.com, I hope. Okay. No, now we're good. We're good. Did I mention iTunes? Because it's very important that you go to the
podcast
app on iTunes on your iOS. Like us, rate us, share us, comment. That was it.
Alright, because I don't have much left on the song.
Okay, you're good.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Alright.